former Union Railways Minister Lalit Narayan Mishra was assassinated in a bomb blast at Samastipur railway station in January 1975. His family, however, is still fighting the case to find his culprits. They've recently held a public awareness program remembering the legacy of Ellen Mishra. My colleague Akshat has spoken with Vaibhav Mishra, who is the grandson of Ellen Mishra. Listen in.
A stalwart, a man of humble beginnings, and the former Railway Minister of India, who was killed in a bomb blast in 1975. Well, a lot of intricacies are also attached to the case, and to speak more on that, we have with us the grandson of the former Railway Minister of India, Mr. Vaibhav Mishra. Sir, first of all, when you reflect back on the legacy of Mr. Lalit Narayan Mishra, then how do you see it?
Thank you so much. The legacy of my grandfather is there in his work. Even after 50 years after his death, if people are remembering him, then it is my own opinion that he's still in people's heart as much as he was there in 1975. If people are still remembering him and coming to his events, in events named after him, whether it is his birth anniversary event, death anniversary, or whatever other event, or even event like this where we are spreading awareness program about his case going on, which is still pending in court, then I still believe the legacy is there through his work. His work was there when he was a railway minister. His work was there when he was a foreign trade minister. Which you see the railway lines in North Bihar, North India, wherever you go, UP, or even in Jharkhand, which was once upon a time part of Bihar itself, you'll see the work which he has done. He was a foreign trade minister. He had taken good initiatives to ensure that lychees, which are grown in northern Bihar and other parts, are exported. He took good initiative to ensure that the Madhubani paintings have become famous at international stage, and various other things. A lot of people don't know that Dr. Manmohan Singh was brought into politics by my grandfather. My grandfather was foreign trade minister. It's a famous story that he needed an economic advisor for a foreign meeting, United Nations meeting at Venezuela. So he asked an economic expert who could be the best man for the job. Someone told him about Dr. Manmohan Singh. So that's when my grandfather got him into politics and got first into this economic advisory. Then slowly Dr. Manmohan Singh got into politics. Even when I personally met Dr. Manmohan Singh, he told me various anecdotes and stories about my grandfather. So the legacy of the man who is still remembered even after 50 years after his death is that people remember him for his work, for what he did for the nation, for the country, for the growth of the nation, for Bihar in particular, and for the country overall. So I think it's the work which speaks itself, and that's what people remember him even 50 years after his death.
So you also talked about the case, I mean, which is you said it is still pending, and it's one of the longest drawn legal cases, also more than 4 decades. So how do you see it, and what's the message you want to convey?
See, our point from the family's point of view stance is that this case requires a reinvestigation, and we recently got an order from Supreme Court where we had asked for reinvestigation in the case and an SIT over the investigation agency as to why the investigation trajectory was changed. Initially, the accused was someone else when they gave the confession statement before the magistrate under section 164 CRPC. Not a police confession before magistrate. The difference between the two. The weightage of a confession before the court magistrate is of more value. So when those accused gave the confession statement as to why they took why they assassinated and what steps they took, then they started taking names. After that, the agency changed the trajectory of the investigation. This is back in 1975. So our demand was that we want a reinvestigation in the case, and why did the investigation trajectory change? To that effect, Supreme Court in the October order told us that why don't you say all this in the appeal pending of the Delhi High Court. That appeal is of those accused who we don't consider as the real culprits maybe. And our stance is that this political conspiracy is of a bigger trajectory and bigger level, and more accused could have been involved. So based on our petition in the Supreme Court, the SLP, Supreme Court told us that because the appeal is still pending of the other set of accused, even though we don't consider them as the main accused maybe, but we've been given the liberty to go and put all these points before the division bench of Delhi High Court. So based on that, we moved an application in Delhi High Court for a hearing in the case based on Supreme Court interim relief to us, a small relief to us. High Court allowed our application, and the matter is fixed for final hearing in March, 27th March exact. So we are hoping for a positive outcome. Based on the Supreme Court order, we'll project our arguments, our points, our contentions before the Honourable Judge, and then we'll see. We'll take it forward one day at a time. We'll cross the bridge when it comes.
So thanks a lot for speaking to NewsX. So of course, there you heard the grandson of Lalit Narayan Mishra, Vaibhav Mishra, saying that they still await for the final hearing, which is slated to take place on 27th of March. And of course, one of the longest drawn legal cases in the history of judiciary. In New Delhi with camera person Avdesh, Akshat Gupta for NewsX.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.